We all have moments of doubt, times when we feel like we aren't enough, like we're falling behind while everyone else seems to have it all together. But here's the truth. The journey to becoming your best self isn't about racing others. It's about discovering your path. Does that resonate with you? Have you ever looked around and wondered why it feels like everyone else is moving ahead while you're still standing in the same place? Maybe you're trying your best, working hard, giving it everything you've got, but somehow it feels like it's never enough. Let's pause for a second right here, because I want to tell you something you might not hear often enough. You are enough. Let's talk about that feeling of not being enough. The thing is, it's universal. You're not the only one who feels this way. Nearly everyone at some point questions their worth. It's human nature. We live in a world where we're constantly bombarded with images and stories of success. People who seem to have it all, the perfect job, the perfect relationship, the perfect life. It's easy to look at those snapshots and think, why am I not there yet? You scroll through social media and it seems like everyone else is living their best life. Graduations, promotions, weddings, vacations, while you're just trying to make it through another day. You start to question yourself, what am I doing wrong? Why does it feel like I'm behind? But here's something we often forget. What you see online, what you see in those glossy pictures is not the whole story. Those are the highlights. What's hidden are the struggles, the tears, the doubts that those same people went through and may still be going through. Just like you. We're all running different races, on different tracks, and yet we act as if we're supposed to be keeping pace with everyone around us. But life doesn't work that way. It's okay to feel lost sometimes. It's okay to question where you're going or if you're even on the right path. You see, the road to self-discovery and growth isn't always clear. It's filled with detours and obstacles, and sometimes it feels like there's no map at all. But here's the thing about getting lost. It's part of the journey. Sometimes you have to lose yourself to find out who you truly are, and that's where the magic happens. Think about it. Every great story you've ever heard has moments of doubt, moments where the hero doesn't know if they'll make it. But it's in those moments, when everything seems uncertain, that the real growth happens. That's where you build strength. That's where you build character. So if you're feeling lost right now, take a deep breath. It's okay. This is part of the process. You're exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't feel like it. Let's talk about the comparison trap. We've all fallen into it, haven't we? It's one of the hardest things to escape. You see someone else succeeding, and suddenly you feel like you're falling short. But here's what I want you to remember. Comparison is the thief of joy. When you compare yourself to others, you're taking your unique journey and measuring it against someone else's path. But how can you possibly compare two different stories? You don't know what that person had to overcome to get where they are. You don't know their struggles, their setbacks, or their pain. We all have our timeline. Just because someone else is succeeding today doesn't mean you won't succeed tomorrow. Your moment is coming. But it will come in its own time. In its way, it's easy to look at someone else's success and feel envy. But what if, instead of comparing, you focused on your growth? What if you celebrated how far you've come instead of worrying about how far others have gone? You have your path to walk. And that path is just as important, just as valuable as anyone else's. Now, let's talk about progress, because I know how it feels when you want change to happen right now. You want results. You want to see that transformation. But here's something crucial to understand. Real, lasting change doesn't happen overnight. It happens one step at a time. Think about building a house. You don't just snap your fingers and it's done. You lay one brick, then another, and then another. Slowly, the walls start to rise, the foundation becomes solid, and eventually, you have a home. Your personal growth is no different. Every little action you take, every positive choice is a brick in the foundation of the person you're becoming. And sometimes those steps feel so small that you don't even notice them, but over time, they add up. The key is to keep moving forward, even when you can't see the full picture. Even when it feels like you're not making progress, trust the process. Every small action you take today is bringing you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. So, what can you do today? Maybe it's taking 10 minutes to meditate. Maybe it's picking up that book you've been meaning to read. Maybe it's sending a message to someone you've been meaning to reconnect with. These small actions may seem insignificant at the moment, but they're part of the bigger picture. We're often our own worst critics, aren't we? We hold ourselves to such high standards. If someone else made a mistake, we'd comfort them and tell them it's okay. But when it comes to our own mistakes, we beat ourselves up. We tell ourselves we're not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. But let me ask you this. When was the last time you were kind to yourself? When was the last time you forgave yourself for a mistake? When was the last time you told yourself, it's okay, you're doing your best? Self-compassion is not a weakness. It's essential for growth. Because here's the truth, you are going to make mistakes. You are going to have setbacks. You are going to stumble. And that's okay. What matters is how you respond to those moments. Instead of beating yourself up, learn to pick yourself up. Learn to be your own biggest supporter. Because at the end of the day, you are with yourself 24/7. You have to live with that inner voice. So why not make it a voice that lifts you instead of tearing you down? Here's something I want you to remember. You are a work in progress, and that's okay. That's beautiful. We live in a society that glorifies perfection. But perfection is an illusion. No one has it all figured out. Everyone is just doing the best they can, one day at a time. And you're no different. The journey to becoming your best self is not about reaching some final destination. It's about the person you become along the way. It's about embracing the ups and downs, the triumphs and the failures. It's about learning, growing, and evolving. There's a quote I love. The only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. You don't have to be the best. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be better than you were before. And that's enough. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the person you want to be a year from now. What do they look like? How do they feel? What have they accomplished? Now, ask yourself, what can I do today to bring me closer to that person? Maybe it's something small, like making a healthier choice at dinner or taking a few minutes to reflect on your goals. Maybe it's something bigger, like signing up for that class you've been putting off, or finally pursuing that passion project you've been dreaming about. Whatever it is, know that every action you take, no matter how small, is a step closer to that future self. It's easy to get caught up in what we don't have, in what we haven't achieved yet. But when was the last time you stopped to appreciate what you do have? Gratitude is a powerful tool. It shifts your focus from what's missing in your life to what's already there. And when you start focusing on the good, you'll find that more good things come your way. So today, take a moment to be thankful. Be thankful for the progress you've already made, no matter how small. Be thankful for the lessons you've learned along the way. Be thankful for the strength you've built through the challenges you've faced. When you live from a place of gratitude, you'll start to see the world and yourself in a whole new light. So where do we go from here? The truth is that becoming the best version of yourself is a journey, not a race. And the best part is, you get to decide when to start and why not start today. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed and unsure of where to begin. But here's the secret. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take one step, one action, one choice that brings you closer to the person you want to become. Whether it's a small step or a big leap, just start. Because the journey to discovering your path begins with a single step. And once you take that step, the rest will follow. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are not less than anyone else. You are exactly where you need to be on your unique journey. And that journey is valuable. It's important. And it's yours. So, keep moving forward. Keep taking those small steps. Keep believing in yourself even when it's hard. And remember, the only person you need to compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. You are enough. You have always been enough, and you are on your way to becoming the best version of yourself, one step at a time.